What's up everyone, I'm a total dork and today I'm going to be reading an article about Black Ops 4 zombie factions. This was posted on Kotaku on Friday. It's talking about how we don't have factions still. The article was written by an S.E. Doster, I think is how you pronounce that last name. There's a link in the description if you want to read along. But yeah, I'm just gonna read the article and give my thoughts on it. It's pretty short, but it does say quite a lot in that amount of time.
Black Ops 4 Zombies still doesn't have all the content that Activision promised prior to its launch last year. In fact, the Undead Survival Mode hasn't really seen a proper content flow or substantial rewards. 7 months since Black Ops 4's launch, and the Zombies community is still left speculating about the factions feature that was teased long ago.
This first paragraph really shows that the Zombies team hasn't had a whole lot to work with. It's been 7 months and we're still experiencing content droughts, a lack of proper rewards, and we still don't have factions. A lot of people give Treyarch some leeway because they had to release the game a month early, but by this point it's been 7 months and we still don't have things. It's been 7 months, we can't be giving them any leniency at this point. It doesn't feel like it's 7 months because we've only had 2 DLCs, but it's been 7 months. And we still don't have a lot of things that were promised.
Factions was originally announced by Treyarch director Jason Blundell and lead writer Craig Houston at San Diego Comic-Con in July of 2018. The SDCC panel highlights listed on the Activision blog initially gave us this tease. First, there will be factions in Black Ops 4 Zombies, complete with their own quests and narratives. These factions will add another dimension to the story as players choose to side with the Bloodfaith, Tempest Novi, Dustborn, or the First Legion. Who do you stand with and what does that mean as you progress along that path, Blundell said during the panel, teasing what the factions mode would be. Initially, there was a lot of intrigue over what factions might be, but the Comic-Con hype has since fizzled as Treyarch's vague description gave way to radio silence about the feature. Kotaku contacted Activision this week to ask about factions' future, but it has not responded.
This really summarizes the community's feeling about factions at the moment. We saw the Comic-Con tease and thought, oh, this could be neat, tell us more about it, and then they didn't tell us anything, not just about factions, but really about the whole game. There was a long period of just radio silence in between the game's launch and the release of Dead of Night and even Ancient Evil. I get they're busy, but we really do need to know what's going on, because if you don't tell us anything, we can't build hype around it, and that obviously isn't good for the player base.
With Black Ops 4 Zombies having such a rough launch, and players practically begging for better updates and rewards, you'd think by now Treyarch would have at least given out some juicy details.
Black Ops 4 definitely had a rough launch, and a rough launch is putting it lightly. It was abysmal. It was probably the worst launch for a Call of Duty game, as far as Zombies goes anyway.
A YouTuber and member of the Zombies community called ZWC Newbie tweeted Treyarch back in March for an ETA on factions. At the time, the developer responded, factions are planned for the next operation, with the team currently focused on releasing Ancient Evil, DLC 2, and our next major update, followed by Dead of Night Gauntlet, server pause, split screen pause, and more. That would mean factions was planned to launch with the game's current operation, Spectre Rising, but we're already in week 4 of the event on PlayStation 4, and there's still no new information on this mysterious Zombies feature.
That's really a good point. It was meant to launch with this operation, and we haven't heard anything in a month. This really goes back to the whole radio silence thing on Treyarch and how it's really hurting them more than it is helping them. Even if factions are delayed and won't be coming out in this operation, I think it would be better for them to tell us that rather than to let the operation go by, not say anything, and hope we forget, I guess. I'm really not sure what their game plan is.
Factions could really be anything at this point. If it's something similar to Destiny's faction system, that would mean basically just bringing players together under one faction banner or another to complete boring challenges to earn some extra loot. But I really hope Treyarch's plan involves weaving in more creative challenges and unique storytelling, which would be more likely to motivate players to jump back into Zombies.
I didn't play much of the original Destiny. I bought Destiny thinking it would have the depth and storytelling of a Halo game, Bungie's original project, but boy was I wrong about that. But they do explain what the factions are pretty well. Zombies isn't a looter shooter, so I wouldn't expect them to give us quote-unquote loot. If they copied the Destiny system, I'm not sure what they would give us as a reward. I think Treyarch did say that factions would help drive the story in that original panel. I don't remember for sure because it's been almost a year.
Treyarch Zombies may have started as simply horde survival, but the mode really transformed and grew a community with the addition of interesting questlines and story depth. But in its current state, Black Ops 4 Zombies is lots of maps and modes with very little rewards or updates.
I 100% agree with that statement. Black Ops 4 does an awful job of rewarding players, especially if you only play zombies. Originally, in zombies, you weren't even allowed to rank up your
black market contraband stream
while playing zombies, so you were actively punished for playing zombies. They eventually did fix that, so if you did play Blackout in multiplayer, you weren't actively punished for playing zombies. But at the same time, if you're someone like me who doesn't play the multiplayer, who doesn't play Blackout, that didn't really mean anything to begin with. I'm still not rewarded in zombies for playing zombies. And the rewards that are there, like the camo challenges, are just absurdly time consuming. Getting dark matter for zombies in Black Ops 4 is like a full-time job. I don't know how some of these people do it. And the reward is only a camo. It doesn't really matter, but it's this huge time sink that you can do that I don't think really anyone wants to do.
The addition of gauntlets to each zombie's map, a grueling 30 rounds of unique challenges, left players feeling unsatisfied with the reward. Players don't really feel rewarded for the gauntlets by simply receiving a calling card as bragging rights on their gamer profile. Greater challenges should offer bigger rewards such as unique camos, weapons, or exclusive outfits to champions of the gauntlets.
I also 100% agree with that statement. Getting a calling card for 30 rounds is quite underwhelming. If I wasn't initially interested in gauntlets and I asked someone, why should I invest my time in learning a gauntlet? And the best answer they can give me is, oh, you get a calling card. That's not going to incentivize me to play gauntlet. That might de-incentivize me to play gauntlet because I think the reward is so bad that it's insulting.
With this being the 5th straight year of Call of Duty Zombies, players really need better content drops and more satisfying rewards to fend off the zombies fatigue. Activision's major overhaul of Call of Duty 2020 has Treyarch tasked with producing another Black Ops game in just 2 years, rather than the usual 3. That puts a lot of pressure on the developer and could take away from its ability to continue to add content to Black Ops 4.
Zombies fatigue is really something I'm glad they touched on. As I said, it's the 5th year of zombies in a row, and we're definitely noticing the effects. People aren't playing the game as much. Having content drops be more rewarding might help with that, but you can only play the same game mode for so long without losing your mind. The content drops can help get us through this year. It's not going to fix the problem of fatigue. People need to take a break every now and again, and having a year-long or a 2-year-long stopgap in between Treyarch games was a really good way to manage how long you're playing the game and really avoid that fatigue. And Treyarch working on Call of Duty 2020 does worry me. We've seen what little Zombies has done in Black Ops 4 when that is the only game they have to worry about at the moment. Throwing an entirely new game on them and having them do both, don't think that will make things better. I think Activision is overestimating Treyarch a lot by doing that. Also, developers need to sleep and see their families every now and again. I'm surprised they didn't look at a developer like BioWare with Anthem's well-documented flop largely due to developer crunch time and putting so much faith in the developer to get it right, BioWare magic, and how that completely backfired and how they made 2 very poorly received games. I'm surprised Treyarch and Activision don't see that parallel between them.
Whatever factions are and whenever they finally arrive, I hope the future brings better incentives and pulls the community back together with some competitive fun. If Treyarch truly brings a new layer of storytelling combined with community challenges, it might not be too late to revive Black Ops 4 Zombies. But if this is simply a clone of Destiny's factions to reward more calling cards that players don't want, it might be too little, way too late.
I think it would definitely be way too little, way too late at that point. Copying Destiny's factions is definitely the wrong way to go, and I really hope they don't do that. I think we all want the feature to pull the community back together. Any feature, it doesn't have to be factions. I think we all want the community at the state it was during the height of Black Ops 3, during the Revelations Easter egg or Zombie Chronicles, or even just the release of the game. I'm sure we all want that. I don't know if one feature can do that. Ancient Evil did it to a certain extent, but it wasn't quite enough. I don't think forwarding the story is what's going to bring people back though. The story community is getting frustrated with how long the story has been going on, for one. Two, how convoluted and nonsensical it's become. And three, with what the actual story is. It's been 10 years and people are still trying to figure out who is the bad guy, why do I care, and things like that. Very basic story things that should be simple and straightforward and get the reader or the listener or the community on board with whatever story they're telling. They're not getting that. Treyarch isn't making those things clear. What's going to bring people back is gameplay and incentivizing rewards. A story in a video game can only go so far if the game isn't fun. And I'm also not sure if they can bring people back without reverting all the changes they made prior to Black Ops 4. Things like the creator class and the perk system, the new point system. The fundamental changes they made to the zombies mode might just keep driving people away from it, even if they do release quality maps like Ancient Evil and 9 from time to time. And just generally not knowing what's happening in the future is also a major hurdle that they're gonna need to overcome. When they announce something like Factions or a DLC or a Gauntlet, it needs to come out on time when they say it will. For example, with Factions, they say it's going to come out in this operation, and it's been a month and the operation's almost over. We haven't heard a thing about Factions. We haven't heard anything about the Ancient Evil Gauntlet, which I believe was meant to come out in this operation along with the Dead of the Night Gauntlet. And we don't know anything about DLC 3 other than it's going to be an Aether map. It could be anything.
I forgot to record an outro because I'm an idiot. That makes things awkward, doesn't it? Okay, bye.